Hartford and Tampa Bay started the month in a great match down in Central Florida. They end the month tonight here at Trinity Health Stadium. Hi, everybody. Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. And Mark, for Hartford, tough road trip, dropping 2 on the road, try to get back on track tonight against one of the best teams in the East.
Yeah, but they can take heart from that trip that you mentioned down to the west coast of Florida when they went ahead earlier this month, but then conceded in the last minute. Back home for Hartford and looking for a precious home win.
Our ones for watch, we give you 2 for the price of 1. 2 guys who have to do it at the offensive end.
They do, and maybe they're playing for their futures as well. Elvis Amo knows where the back of the net is. We've seen that. He scored some wonderful goals, but he's also missed a few. And Prince Sadie providing the pace, coming in from that right-hand side. They will be a threat, Joe, for a makeshift Tampa Bay defense.
And for Tampa Bay, only 2 players in the league have scored more goals than Cal Jennings.
Super player, really leads the line well, supported by J.J. Williams and Joshua Perez. Tonight, they are likely to score goals. I think there could be a few in this game. There's been a goal scored in the first half of Hartford games in the last 13 times, but Cal Jennings with 16 this season, an example of what he did to Hartford, ran rings around them and finished in the back of the net. He's the main threat for the visitors tonight.
Mark's keys to the game brought to you by Hoffman Auto Group.
Yeah, it doesn't involve the moon, but that's a lovely shot anyway. Put pressure on a makeshift defense. Antley, Ekra, Dennis, Hilton, there's a few of them playing in different positions for Tampa at the back. Amo and Sadie can put pressure on that. Now, I came up with the don't slip on a banana skin, and I was told, no, you're in America now, it's don't slip up on a banana peel. Basically, this could be a difficult game for Tampa. If they're not focused, they have to make sure they get all 3 points.
I love your food references. Starting lineups in the opening kickoff next, here in Hartford on ESPN+.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Welcome back everybody watching. Welcome to Hartford Athletic, joining the USL Championship here in 2019.
Is this the moment? Jose Angulo! Dillon Stadium alive again!
Hartford Athletic get the win, and in a week they will host their first playoff game in club history.
Number 2, United Soccer League, Hartford Athletic, Bethlehem Steel. Bethlehem goalie trying to throw the ball out. Danny Barrera's like, I got that right here.
Dixon, long range effort. Oh my, that is magnificent from Alex Dixon. With purpose, crossed over and scored. Prince Sadie, long range effort. Oh, that's spectacular.
Oh, it's a glory strike. Where did gravity go?
Obregon Jr.
Midweek soccer in the capital city. Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC, the official fitness center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more. Last Fly Airport Parking, a proud partner of the Hartford Athletic. Save 20% on your airport parking by pre-booking on lastfly.com. Absolutely picture-perfect night here in Hartford. Let's get to the starting lineups there. Brought to you, as always, by Liberty Bank. And, Mark, we start with the home 11.
This is a potential 5-4-1. It's a potential 5-3-2. And with Hartford having possession of the ball, expect Kibato and Merrill to get forward to help the midfield in support of Prince Sedi and Elvis Amo, with Juan Pablo Torres tasked with creating the chances for the front two.
And that is the injury-riddled Tampa Bay Rowdies. They've had to switch things up, especially on the back line.
Yeah, who's fit? Right, you go there, and you go there. And they've conceded quite a lot. They conceded 4 to Memphis, they conceded 3 to San Antonio, 1 to Louisville, although they beat them, and 3 at Memphis. It will be an opportunity for Hartford to have a go at this back line. The problem for Hartford, Cal Jennings, 16 goals and counting this season.
10th all-time meeting between these two sides. Tampa Bay 2-1 winners back on September 2nd at historic Al Lang Field. And play is underway. 66 degrees, a gentle breeze out of the east. Couldn't be a better night on the pitch here in Hartford. Immediate turnover by Juan Pablo Torres to Antley. Here's J.J. Williams. Tripped up. And that'll go against the big midfielder, Charlie Dennis. Several players injured. Dayon Harris, Aaron Guillen, their stout midfielder. Forrest Lasso is in uniform, but we don't expect to see much of him tonight. Jake Harmon is out. So it's kind of a depleted team. And their coach, Nicky Law, got named head coach, coached 6 games, 6 matches, and then due to visa issues, he's been back in England for the last 4.
Yeah, he's got the job till the end of the season, and I think it'll basically be how well they do in the playoffs, but they've got to do well defensively here.
Here's Merrill cutting towards the 18. Weak left-footed shot, and Connor Sparrow, 8th all-time in saves with 350. There's the man in charge, Alex Beeler, his 3rd match of the year in U.S. Champions. And at the other end, the first touch by Joe Rice, who did not have a great night in the 3-0 loss in Detroit. Tampa Bay pressuring. Robin Lappert back in the starting lineup. Connor McGlynn is always there. Plays it up ahead on the left. Here's Sadie. They will try to get Sadie and Elvis Amo behind this makeshift defense for Tampa Bay. Andre Lewis, number 77, the Jamaican. 56th match for the green and blue. Here's the speedy Merrill up the right side. Goes up. And they say last touched by Hartford, and that had the Hartford bench up. Here's Amo in the middle. Try to play it for Kibato on the left. It's Lewis. 22 yards out. Kibato serves in the box for Merrill. Far post, can't control. And it's cleared out of danger after being settled by Jake LaCava, the Connecticut kid from New Milford. Lappert won the air ball, but taken back by Tampa Bay. Currently 3rd in the Eastern Conference, 2 points behind Charleston and 6 points behind league-leading Pittsburgh, with a game in hand on both. It's a series that Tampa has dominated. Number 2 on the near sideline, Connor Ashley, pressured by Merrill. 19 is the 6'4" Californian, Freddie Kleeman. Hilton in the middle with a long ball as they tried to hit Cal Jennings, but Lappert went over the top to knock it away. Here's Charlie Daniels, or rather Charlie Dennis. I was going to break into a country song there.
That's one for the youngsters.
Now Lewis Hilton. I worry sometimes with the references that you don't get. That's what concerns me more, to be honest with you.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned Rodney Marsh for Tampa Bay yet.
No, come on. 22 Jordan Doherty has not been subbed off this year. Offside, as Joshua Perez drew the flag. The assistant referees, Nicholas Seymour, Jacob Little, Cristiano Centino is our 4th official. And here's the offside for you, clearly, as Kibato was beaten.
You remember Tampa Bay Rowdies of the late 70s?
Oh, they were legendary.
What a team they had with
They
Rodney
and the New York
Marsh and co.
Cosmos had great rivalries.
Oh, they were fantastic. Some great stuff, old stuff on YouTube of when Rodney Marsh wore the Tampa Bay Rowdies uniform for those 3 or 4 years towards the end of the 70s. George Best came over, LA playing for the Cosmos.
And their home kits are iconic.
Yes.
70s, Jan Ekra. Nobody has played more games in USL than the Ivory Coast native. This is game 274 for Ekra. Hartford on the throw-in from the far side. Crowd still filing in on this Wednesday night. McGlynn dribbles out of trouble. Gets it in the corner to Logue, and the captain. Long ball up ahead. Amo got tied up at midfield, and coming away with it, Connor Antley. No score, just the start of things. Here at Trinity Health Stadium, Trinity Health of New England, proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic. Always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. 2 is Connor Antley, plays it back to Kleeman. Playing in the back line with Doherty, normally as a midfielder, but he's had to drop back to help withstand the injuries to Eric Guillen and Forrest Lasso, who's dressed, but we don't expect to see tonight. One problem that Tampa has had recently, Mark, so many injuries, they can't dress the full complement of players.
No, and I've got 3 or 4 different formations for them so far already in the opening 6 minutes. It's basically a 4 at the back, with Ekra at right back, Antley at left back, Kleeman and Doherty are the 2 centre backs. Hilton and Charlie Dennis won't go forward that much. They'll kind of try and protect. Joshua Perez out wide on the right-hand side. Jake LaCava coming in from the left, and J.J. Williams playing off Cal Jennings. It's a very attacking formation named by Nicky Law.
McGlynn and Logue have a catch in the back line at midfield. Logue tries to send Cabato in, too far. And Connor Sparrow, in his first year with Tampa Bay, makes the play.
One of the other things for Tampa Bay is just not to take any risks. Some players potentially coming back from injury, and if there's any doubt whatsoever, just keep them fresh and keep them safe before the playoffs begin. Maybe give them a run out just before that, just to ensure they're up to speed as far as match practice is concerned. Sloppy.
Well, Cabato was standing out of bounds when Logue passed him the ball.
It was like an Exocet missile that was drilled towards him. It's just Hartford, they've had a couple of goals they've scored where it's been really good from the back all the way forward, but if that's not a foul throw, I don't know what is. But there has been issues, a lot of issues defensively for Hartford. You don't concede that many goals that Hartford have done and get away with it.
Headed in the direction of Juan Pablo Torres. He's taken off the ball by LaCava. Now Hilton gets to Dennis. Ekra. One touch to Doherty in the Hartford end of the field.
They're basically using their 2 fullbacks as auxiliary wingers when they've got possession of the ball, which they expect to have more often than not, pushing those 2 wide players forward, and that allows those in front of them to cause problems for the Hartford back 5.
Hilton in the middle. Give and go with Ekra. Chips one to the left side. Here's Antley. Luke Merrill does a nice job to take it off his foot. And Hartford clears it towards the middle of the field. Sadie could not win the ball. Taken back by Tampa. Tampa in the highlighter yellow uniforms with black trim. Hartford the blue kit. The green kit's the blue shorts. As Cabato sends it out.
We've seen all the teams in the USL this year. Tampa Bay are up there when they've got everybody fit. Impressed by Memphis when they came here. They obviously won at the weekend down in Tampa. Pittsburgh and Charleston, the 2 ahead of Tampa Bay right now.
Rodrigo DaCosta with the hat trick against Tampa Bay that night. It's the first time Tampa had given up 4 goals since August of 19. First time they gave up 4 at home since November of 13.
Yeah, but it's one of those with an asterisk beside it, isn't it? Because it's just like who's fit, who can play, right? What we're going to do, because they've played a 3 at the back this season. They've gone to a 4 right now. Just basically, this is the players that they've got the best kind of suit and are most comfortable in this formation at the back. It's not ideal for Tampa Bay, but you shouldn't need to worry too much about defending tonight if their attacking clicks.
Amo comes back to help distribute. Merrill, long ball for Sadie, but Kleeman heads it down. Dennis plays it back towards Sparrow, and they reform the attack. Tonight's match presented by Avelo Airlines. Avelo flies to the country's most beautiful destinations with affordable rates. From national parks to hidden gems to bustling metropolitan hubs, they've got your next vacation covered. To learn more about Avelo's 40-plus destinations, visit AveloAir.com. Offside on the far side. That's Elvis Amo.
Well, I know what you did yesterday afternoon, and I know what I did yesterday afternoon.
I watched you and listened to you.
Well, the reason I'm bringing that up is because this is similar, and this is the team that are the underdogs, Hartford, against the team that are the favourites, Tampa Bay. Yesterday, it was Mallorca against Barcelona. It was a 5-4-1 for Mallorca. And how did they get out? Well, they went long. And Hartford have that option with Elvis Amo, but they had Abdon Prats playing off Morishi, and it caused problems for Barcelona. So I understand they want to try and play through Tampa Bay, and it's lovely if it all works, but more often than not, it doesn't. So sometimes you just have to go a little bit more direct, and you lose possession of the ball, and that's the problem. You get tired chasing.
Well, and that goes against something that, here's a turnover. Amo taken down is Sadie. Ekra takes him down, and that's a yellow for Jan Ekra, his 8th yellow of the year.
Foul, yes. Yellow. Too many complaints from the fullback.
Alex Beeler gave out 6 yellows in the last USL game he did.
Yeah, he's given out 4 red cards, Joe, in the last 7 matches he's taken charge of. So
that's a lot.
He likes going to the pocket. Maybe common sense would have suggested, come on now, one more and you're in trouble. But, yellow card.
It's a team that's next to last in the league with 57 yellow cards.
Sorry, I'm not having that as a yellow. That's a foul. It's borderline, but come on. But Hartford have got a free kick here and a chance. Watch Niall Logue at the back post. He could be the target.
Cabato runs over the ball. Lewis chips for a post. Lappert sends it over the 10.
Yeah, they had Logue and Lappert together, and Lappert's taken a sore one.
Lappert's still down. He's holding his mouth.
That's a concern for Hartford.
Head athletic trainer Matt Diaz standing at the end of the bench. As you can see, Lappert holding onto his jaw.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Let's take a look at what happened to the former Yukon Husky when he went airborne. Oh, it looked like he took the back of.
Yeah, I think it's the back of the boot.
Yep.
When it comes down, it's just caught him in the side of the mouth. He's off the field, and while the referee will check that he's okay, he will be told that he can get treatment, but play will continue.
No score. 1 shot so far in the match as Lappert gets up. Let's get a closer look at what happened.
Yeah, we don't think he's caught there, but then he's caught again. Yeah. Inadvertently, totally inadvertently.
Yeah. J.J. Williams' boot caught him as Lappert looks to be okay, as you see, walking off. Takes a drink, jogs over, and wants to come back in right away. So no harm other than Lappert will have a sore jaw in the morning. Williams plays it back to Antley. No score. 14th minute here in Hartford. Athletic, whose playoff hopes are long gone. Tampa Bay's already clinched a berth. I would guess what's up next for them is clinching home field for at least the first match. Here's Antley. Plays it ahead to Williams. Off to Ekra into Hartford territory. One touch by Jennings to the right. Chipped far post. Nobody there but green shirts. Goal kick Hartford.
been watching the movement of J.J. Williams. He is causing the Hartford defence all sorts of problems. He actually got free there, and if that had been a better delivery, he'd got in between two of the Hartford centre-backs and could have been a problem for the home side. He's a player who'll play in behind Cal Jennings. He can play up alongside him. He's just a big threat.
Merrill was calling for the ball as he tried to get behind Antley with the keeper out. And then Antley takes Merrill down, and Omid Namazi appealing to the man in the blue shirt, Alex Beeler.
It might be slightly damning that one of the very few high points for Hartford Athletic this season have been Luke Merrill. He's done well when he's been called upon. He's played in many different positions. Has he been an 8 out of 10 every week? No, but he's been solid. He's got an engine on him. But the damning part is, if I'm correct, did they not get him from open tryouts?
That's correct.
So that doesn't say much about this Hartford Athletic season. It'll be interesting to see how many players are retained from the close season.
Hartford being pressured, dangerous pass, but Rice is there to boot it out of trouble. Please join us in thanking the founding partner of the Hartford for educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. No score, 16th minute here at Trinity Health Stadium. Jody Ambrosia with Mark Donaldson, Sir Thomas of Stanwick, our producer, Bobby Kaplan, our director, and the fabulous crew from Power Station.
But someone who's not here is John Ponziani.
Oh, I have that all set.
Oh.
I have the Ponziani tribute.
Oh, he's still with us.
Well, yes, but congratulations. Here's a shot and a goal from deep. Lewis Hilton almost looked like he caught Joe Rice by surprise. First goal of the year for Hilton. And once again, Mark, Hartford falls behind at home.
As much as Lewis Hilton would love that goal, he's not getting it though. Off the post, off the goalkeeper, own goal for Joe Rice. And that sums up Hartford's season. Poor Joe didn't know anything about it whatsoever. And the strike, as accurate as it could be without going in the back of the net, had a helping hand, helping back, and poor Joe, yeah, it's been that kind of season, hasn't it? 1-0 Tampa Bay.
So Hartford falls behind at the start again, and conceding the first goal in whatever fashion it's been has been an issue. And for Tampa, it's the 12th time, or rather for Tampa, it's the 20th time in 31 matches that they've scored first. Here's Sparrow way out to advance the ball. Lappert gets to it, but Hartford can't do anything with it. So 1-0 as Rice has to scamper to get it. The shot from Lewis Hilton, who had missed 19 games with an ankle injury, and has now started the last 6, playing a full 90 in all 6.
You know what? We can't even congratulate John Ponziani following the birth of his first child, Phoebe. Congratulations to John's partner without something like that happening in the middle of a congratulatory message.
Yeah, congratulations to John and Emily. Saw a picture of Phoebe John sent to me this morning. Beautiful baby girl. I would take it. She looks after mom.
Yeah, John's the head of media here.
Yes, John is the senior vice president of marketing and communications.
That's just a title he's given himself. Here's Andre Lewis.
Lewis in the middle. Hartford down 1-0. Pass for Amo misses. Too much pace on it, so Jan Ekra will get there. So an own goal. It is the second own goal that Hartford has conceded this year. The other on opening night in Monterey Bay by Cave Rod.
Seems like 10 years ago.
In soccer time, it seems like 20 years ago. Here's a long ball up the near touchline, too far for Jake LaCava. It'll be a throw-in.
You know what? I remember watching that game, Joe, and we spoke a lot pre-season about what Hartford are going to do and how they're going to set up. And one of the things that we spoke about in our first home broadcast was that Hartford are meant to be a threat from set plays, and they got a goal from set play in that game. And we thought, okay, something to look for. We haven't really seen
I don't
more
think they've
moments.
gotten many more since
No,
then.
I don't think so.
And they were victimized by 2 set pieces in Detroit
Yes.
last Saturday night.
3-0 defeat.
1-0 on the own goal. Robin J.J. Williams. They slap palms. No harm, no foul. Lappert got some elevation. Lucky he didn't come down on the back of Williams' leg.
I'm just glad he's okay after the, the knock to the mouth area.
Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletics. Stop by the stadium or visit their other Connecticut locations has to offer. Are you still working on yours, or did you consume your Randy's Worcester Street Pizza?
You think I got this size from eating salad? Come on now.
A salad pizza, maybe. 1-0 on the own goal. It's the 18th time this year that Hartford has conceded first. They're 1-15-1. Not a good number. Here's Williams at the 18. Spins, tries to load it up, tries to send Perez through. Williams goes down in the box with Beverly Makangila, and that'll go against Jerome Williams Jr., a.k.a. JJ.
But his movement again. So he came short. It was Cal Jennings that took up his usual spot in the middle. And when you've got someone that's got 16 goals, you're probably best double teaming him if he's in your area. But when you've got the movement of J.J. Williams around, coming short for the ball, Hartford are really struggling with his movement and to pick him up.
Charlie Dennis has 11 goals, 5 on penalty kicks. J.J. Williams has 11. Cal Jennings has 16. They account for 70% of the Tampa Bay goals.
Look, if they get their best players playing in the playoffs, if they get the ones they need to get back from injury back and they keep their key players fit, it's going to take a good side that's going to beat Tampa Bay in this USL Championship playoffs. They are a good team.
And they've been missing last year's league MVP, Leo Fernandez, all year with a torn Achilles. Here's a race for the ball. LaCava racing with Lappert. Tries to cut it inside and clear it off the top of the 18. Bounces it midfield. Antley does a nice job shielding Merrill and getting it to Charlie Dennis. Switches to the right. Here's Ekra. Ekra marked by Lewis. Drops it back to Doherty. Changes fields over to the left. Connor Antley plays it on the left to LaCava. Marked by Merrill. Drops it back. Play towards the top of the box. There's a one-touch. And Juan Pablo Torres, with a mark in the box, sent Charlie Dennis down, and they call the foul on Tampa Bay.
I reserve judgment until seeing it again. Not enough for me.
No, he tripped out. Basically tripped over his own feet.
What kind of clearance was that?
Hartford with a bad giveaway. Lowe gets it back. Plays it for Cabato against Joshua Perez. And he just sends it aimlessly up the field where Jan Ekra will run it down in his own third and send it back to the keeper, Connor Sparrow. Shots are one apiece. Hartford shot not on target. Tampa Bay's was, and it bounced off the woodwork, off of Joe Rice, and between the posts.
For Hartford, I think it's two things. I think they're playing for A, pride, and B, their futures, whether their futures are here or elsewhere. Because once you down tools, if you are out of contract and Hartford decide, no, we're going to move on, whoever that may be, if someone else is looking at this tape or watching this match or other games and see that you've down tools, then you're not going to be attractive to new employers. I'm not suggesting anybody has down tools. I think it's a pretty easy pre-match team talk for Omid Namazi just to say, look, you're playing for pride and you're playing for your future. Let's see who's got what.
Omid told me yesterday he had a long talk with the team on Monday. Here's a giveaway almost. Boy, Hartford living dangerously. For this team, 1-0 is tough. 2-0, that's like climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah, but they took the lead in Tampa Bay and they lost in the 90th minute. I mean, that's been a story of Hartford's season, the concession of goals in the last 10 minutes, hasn't it?
And a game where they were missing 12 players due to COVID.
Yeah,
and put on a terrific workmanlike effort.
They did, but they also took the lead in Memphis by going 2-1 up.
Right.
After Bruno
gave it
Lapa's
away.
penalty, and gave it away again. So I don't know what they're looking at for next season. I don't know how many they need or they're looking at as well. But they need a spine of this team. A team that's going to go a goal up and think, okay, let's go and get a second, rather than, oh no, what do we do now? Because they've looked like nervous kittens at times with a lead.
Here's Amo, 25 yards out. Gives to Sadie in the box. He shoots, and he scores!
Offside.
Now the flag is up. Flag is up, and Hartford is furious. Omid Namazi running down the touchline to confront the official.
Well, he's in trouble for that. He'll pick up at least a yellow. You can't do that. You can't leave your technical area like that. We need to see this again, because it's a belated flag, and that is after the two were communicating, Alex Beeler and Nick Seymour. So when it's played through here, now, what they're saying here is, if there's a deliberate touch from the defender, if there's a deliberate play on the ball, it resets. And as it resets, then Prince Sadie would be onside. So what they're discussing here is the referee and the assistant are saying to each other, was there a deliberate play on the ball by the defender? If there was, the goal should stand. If that was an inadvertent touch by the defender, who clearly got a touch on it, the goal should be chalked off. They have decided that this touch right here by the defender is an inadvertent touch, which I probably agree with, because it's not a deliberate play on the ball. It's hit him on the side of the leg. I think that's the correct call.
Here's a counter. In the box, it's Williams. He shoots, it's blocked. Rebound, score! Jennings with the initial shot. Williams with the rebound. And in the 27th minute, it's 2-0 in favor of Tampa Bay.
In 60 seconds, we've seen Hartford's entire season in a microcosm.
Hartford has the goal turned away. Tampa gets the immediate counter and take the 2-0 lead. That's Jennings. Left-footed shot is blocked.
Oh, it's an own goal.
It's another own goal. Is that?
It's Makangila.
Wow.
It's a good save by Joe Rice, and then sliding in to try and clear it, Beverly Makangila has ended up diverting the ball into his own net. And Tampa Bay Rowdies are a good enough team without needing help, and they have received 2 gifts from Hartford.
Double the amount of own goals Hartford had surrendered in the first 30 games of the year, or 29 games of the year.
Just want to go back to that goal for Hartford that was chalked off. From my understanding of the laws of the game, and this has happened quite a lot in both the English Premier League and in La Liga and in several other leagues as well, it's controversial because a touch on the ball by the defender can mean that play is reset. Here's another chance.
Here's Hartford. Here's Makangila, centers it. Shot is saved. Sparrow parries it over the back wall. Elvis Amo bidding to cut the deficit in half in the 28th minute.
Again, they're good middle to front so far, Hartford coming forward. They've been unfortunate at the back. That's a good save from the goalkeeper, but the movement is good, and it leads to this corner. And we'll get back for the final wrap-up of the disallowed Hartford goal in a second. First corner of the game goes Hartford's way.
Set in the middle, headed out, cleared upfield.
So J.J. Williams is down. That gives us a little bit of a chance to talk about that disallowed goal.
And Williams is down. Let me do this, and then you can do that. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuovo Pasta, Connecticut, and Stop and Shop for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuovo Pasta, Connecticut, and Stop and Shop will donate meals to the Stop and Shop School Food Pantry program. As you were saying.
So I think it's the correct call, and this is why, because when the touch is made by the defender, it's not a deliberate play on the ball as far as an actual footballing move. It's trying to stop the ball from going through, and he hasn't got control over his faculties to an extent. So that's why there was a little bit of a conversation. Once the ball was put in the back of the net, then the flag went up. That's my understanding of the laws based on what we've seen over the past 12 to 24 months with similar goals. But then up the other end of the pitch, and Joe Rice has done really well, but the problem is when you've got a defence which it hasn't worked this season, and it's been tough for Hartford to have all these players playing in different positions. And then you've got a midfielder, Macangila, who's back there trying to do his best to clear it, and you just need a little bit of luck at times, and they haven't had it. And Tampa Bay lead by 2-0. But I do think the Hartford goal was correctly disallowed.
Sparrow off the back pass to a streaking LaCava, too far up the left channel, and it'll be a Hartford throw-in. 2 own goals after Hartford goal all season. And as Mark said, goal disallowed on an offside, and then a rapid counterattack and a goal. Sadie loses the joust. Connor Antley on the near side at midfield. Stop and go move. Cabato gets beaten. Played ahead to LaCava. Back at midfield, Charlie Dennis. We have a foul on Hartford. Late whistle, delayed whistle. So Tampa Bay maintains possession as we go into the 31st minute of play. Lyco Office Furniture, a proud partner and sponsor of the Hartford Athletic. For over 40 years, Lyco Office Furniture has been furnishing startup to Fortune 500 companies all over New England. Go to lycoinc.com to learn more. Antley plays it ahead up on the left to Perez. Racing to touch the goal line with Merrill, who steals it. And then knocked out of bounds by Jake LaCava. Over the near touchline, Hartford throw-in. Rowdies possess the ball 60% of the time to 40% for Hartford. Both teams with 2 shots. Tampa Bay with only 1 shot on target. That second own goal, technically not in the framework. At midfield, it's Torres, triple teamed. Plays in the middle, Beverly Macangila. Now Prince Sadie on the right. Prince cuts to the middle, keeps it on his foot. In the middle open is Torres, looking to distribute. Plays to Cabato. Sadie can't control. Cleared out of danger by Jan Ekra. They played it for Amo at the 18, but was headed out of there. Ekra uses his body to shield Amo, and Jordan Doherty clears it upfield. In case you're wondering what Hartford can come off the bench with, Kyle Edwards, Danny Barrera, Matt Sheldon, Dren Dobruna, Tristan Hodge not starting tonight. First time in a long time. Last time he did not start was Memphis back here in May.
I wondered if Edgardo Rito being on the bench gives us a clue about his potential whereabouts not being here next season.
The only other game Rito didn't start was the first game after he was acquired.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, good player, but he'd probably suit and fit into a better Hartford side.
Here's Antley, long run, puts it into the dining area behind the goal to our left, so it'll be a goal kick for Joe Rice.
I really like Edgardo Rito going forward, and so many teams have struggled defensively against him. But for me, he's a bit of a luxury player. I think he's a better player in a better team, Joe, where maybe he doesn't have to worry as much about defending, because here, if he doesn't give the ball away and one of his teammates do and he's out of position, it becomes a problem for Hartford. But if Hartford were a side that were having more of the ball and were up at the top end of the league, I think he'd be a right asset for this football club. I think he's the right player at the wrong time.
Merrill at midfield. Pass taken away by Freddie Kleeman. Drops it back, and again, they send the ball back to Connor Sparrow an awful lot.
They do, but they play it quickly as well, and their movement is excellent. They've got a goalkeeper they trust with the ball at his feet.
Played upfield in the direction of Jennings. Logue with the play with McGlynn to get the ball back. Now Macangila in the center circle. Plays it to an open Sadie in the middle. Distributes square on the right. Merrill runs onto it. Merrill tried to play it along the ground through 3 people. That didn't work. Taken away by Tampa Bay. Charlie Dennis made the interception. Gets it back from Antley. Plenty of pitch to run on for Charlie Dennis. Square on the right to Jan Ekra. 2-0. 2 own goals for Tampa Bay in the 16th and 27th minutes. Now, you've watched a lot more soccer than I am, being much older than I am. Have you seen a game with 2 own goals by the same team before?
Yes, but not been for quite some time.
I'm surprised you let me slip that age question thing by.
I'll let it go.
Yeah. That's just kind of this genteel gentleman that you are.
I got it. Yes, my patience has been tested in this seat many times this season. I just want them to do well. They're my local team, Joe.
No, I know. Oh, I thought you meant by me.
It's starting to get personal because Phil Murphy, who usually sits in for me if I'm unavailable, and that's happened 3 times this season, he's seen Hartford win twice.
Right.
I've never seen Hartford win well.
No, I know.
I've been to games as a fan and seen them win previously when I wasn't working at ESPN, but we're running out of opportunities here this season.
Exactly. Here's Antley on the attack. Connor Antley into the Hartford defensive half. Slows down, plays back to Dennis. Gives it midfield. Lewis Hilton. It was his shot that started the circumstance for the second own goal. Put in by Beverly Macangila.
Joe, this is a side that hasn't won many games at all. And look at the stands. There's still a lot of people here. The community supports this team. Imagine what success would do.
No question. Ekra headed out of trouble by Connor McGlynn. Here's Cabato. Has it taken right away. Off the boot of Antley. Amo goes down. Omid Namazi wants a foul on Doherty. Here's Lacava at the 8-16. Goes in. Rice comes out and goes off Lacava's foot. And now Rice yelling at the referee. Well, you can sense the Hartford frustration, Mark, but you can't lose your poise.
No, we've seen ill discipline too many times. And they're missing one of their main players.
Tonight, youth soccer affiliates of the match, East Hartford Soccer Club, Oxford Soccer League.
Antoine Opino suspended.
Right. Yellow card accumulation. He's at 8.
Now, they've not all been for dissent.
Oh, somebody hurt an ankle out there. Tampa Bay player is gimping back on the defensive end. Here's Sadie. Prince with the turn. Plays it to Amo on the left. Elvis at the 18, but Doherty steals it away and starts back in the other direction. It's Lewis Hilton who was limping. Same Lewis Hilton who, as we mentioned earlier, missed 19 games this year with an injured ankle.
And just as well, Tampa Bay have got a plethora of options on the bench. Said no one, given all their injuries.
Right. They only have 5 substitutes,
yeah,
4
outfield
field players and a goalie. Phil Brino.
Might be one I think you'll be able to run off. And number 4, Lewis Hilton.
Here's Kleeman at his own 18. Plays it back to Sparrow. Hartford Athletic wants to thank our founding partners, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our community ticket program. Children from undeserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge. Antley gets it in the Hartford half. Looks to go. Plays it back to Dennis. In the middle to Hilton. Square on the right to Ekra. One touches to the right side to Perez. Joshua Perez, marked by Lapper. Drops it back. Tampa Bay resets the attack, leading 2-0. Now Joshua Perez. Lapper won't give him any space, drops it back. They found Dennis open in the middle. Tried to find Williams, instead LaCava. 1v1 on the left. Gives it back to Antley. Too hard. Knocked away. Antley knocks it off a Hartford player. It'll be a throw-in for Tampa Bay, which has really started to control the time of possession. And we got a foul on Tampa Bay. It'll be a Hartford direct. Approaching the 41st minute. 2-0 on 2 own goals. Tampa Bay on top. One off of Rice, one off of Macangila. Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thanks to our partners, Jim Beam Bourbon and Hornitos Plaza Tequila. Back comes LaCava. You know he'd like to score in his home state. Jennings taking off the ball nicely. Sadie cuts to the middle. Plays in the center circle to Andre Lewis. Lewis dribbles towards the far side. Finds an overlapping Robin Lapper. Drops it back to Juan Pablo Torres. Macangila, as Jennings slowly catches up to him. Torres with space. Along the right touchline to Merrill. Luke plays it to Cabato. Drops it back to McGlynn joining in. Gives to Amo. They don't let Elvis turn because it was an Amo turn and go that resulted in the Hartford goal at Tampa Bay. Centered and headed wide. Sneaky quick by the Athletic.
What a chance for Prince Sadie. It's a great move from Hartford. They've played some good stuff middle to front, and that's a decent delivery. It's one of these you can only kind of set yourself once you know you're going to head the ball. You've just got to think that the ball's coming to you and forget what's in front of you and whether or not they're going to get a touch and be clinical with a header. If it had been Elvis Amo, the ball ends up probably in the back of the net or certainly on target, but Prince Sadie over. Final word on the disallowed Hartford goal. Here is why it was the correct decision to disallow the goal by the match official. We spoke about the deliberate play from the Tampa Bay defender.
Yes.
And it wasn't a deliberate play. A player can only be judged to have made a deliberate play if they have control of the outcome of their action. So if a player is making an attempted block or interception, that was meant to be a block or an interception, this cannot lead to a controlled outcome. Thus, this cannot be a deliberate play. And if it cannot be a deliberate play, the offside phase cannot be reset. So you then go to the ball through to Prince Sadie when he was in an offside position. So despite the protestations from the Hartford bench, it is a little known law, and it's come into play quite a lot over the past couple of years. It was the correct decision, and well played. Kudos to Alex Beeler, the referee, and his assistant Nick Seymour. They took their time to get the right decision. The flag stayed down to begin with, and then it was put up when they discussed whether or not it was or it wasn't a deliberate play.
As you see the collision.
Friendly fire.
That was friendly fire. And it's Charlie Dennis, who's played every game this year for Tampa Bay. One of 26 in the league to play every game. To come off. Walked off by the trainer, Eric Stripe. So drop ball will go to Hartford as we approach the 45th minute. We'll find out what we'll get for Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. I wouldn't think very much. Well, Merrill, Hartford, 11v10. Dennis wants to come back in, and they still won't let him in. He's held captive. Now here he comes. On the far side, it's McGlynn. And again, Hartford makes a pass, and the player is over the touchline when it's passed to him. That time it was McGlynn, the lapper, just unforced errors. A couple of different times by Athletic, down 2-0 to Tampa Bay. Rowdies unbeaten in their last 5 against Hartford. And our Brignall Vineyard stoppage time, 4 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Lewis for Hartford. Plays it to an overlapping lapper. Slows down, gets it back to Lewis. In the middle, Torres traps it. 1 touch to McGlynn. Gives on the right to Luke Merrill. Now McGlynn.
I don't mind the patience because Hartford had bodies in the box. There needs to come a time where it does speed up. That's a decent ball.
McGlynn plays it across the Lappert. Heads it in the box. Doherty clears it out of danger. Run down in the offensive half by Lewis.
And when Lappert's getting forward, Makingila is just sitting in, and Lappert put that ball in for Prince City. They've actually done all right, middle to front, Hartford in this game. They've just been undone by a couple of bits of bad fortune at the other end.
Now Lewis, marked by Doherty. Back to Lappert, who's much more offensive-minded in this game. Does not have a goal or an assist, and a shot goes wide.
Connor McGlynn, the man with the shot, he's been one of the positives for Hartford this season.
Yes, I was going to say that. From about 25 yards out.
If that's 25 yards out, I don't want you measuring for carpets.
Okay, maybe 30.
and the rest. I mean, my word. Connor McGlynn came as a defensive midfielder and has pretty much played most of his time this season as a centre back. And he's been one of few positives for Hartford.
Giveaway by Merrill. Antley on the counter. Up the left side. He's got Williams in the middle. Gives it to him. Buries it over the goal. J.J. Williams.
Yeah, he's taking a sore one on the follow through though.
Down at the 6-yard box. At the 6-yard line.
Plays okay.
As you see McGlynn checking on the 25-year-old Williams.
A lot of the time in sport, good teams find a way. They find a way because they're more clinical than the teams at the other end of the table. And Hartford have had chances. Amo had the shot saved. Prince Sadie with the header over the bar. Sadie with the ball in the back of the net, but correctly ruled out for offside because it wasn't a deliberate touch. Tampa Bay, 2 proper efforts on goal. Yeah, they've had a couple of looks and they've had shots over from distance, but they're a good side. They're a really good side, and good sides convert a much higher percentage of opportunities than struggling outfits.
Williams jogging it off as we are 2 minutes into stoppage time, at least 4 minutes. Tampa Bay on 2 Hartford own goals, a 2-0 lead. Logue to Lappert, who is definitely pushed up. Logue in his own end. There was a period of time where Niall Logue hardly played his fewest minutes of the year at Detroit. Only 12. Offside flag being called for. Not put up. Here's Kembo Kabato. Gives it to Lewis outside the box on the left. 1v1 with Ekra. Andre goes backwards with it. Distributes to Kabato. Now back to Lewis in the box. He shoots, and he shoots it way wide.
Again, good from Hartford.
The setup was great. Good patience that time. Not to rush things. When you're struggling to score goals, impatience is often your worst enemy.
Yeah, Juan Pablo Torres takes his man with him to create a little bit of space. Yeah, the shot goes over the bar from Andre Lewis, but I like the structure of Hartford middle to front. I like Sadie and Elvis Amo together, with Andre Lewis kind of playing just off from the left-hand side.
Shots are 5-5. As we reach the 49th minute, Antley with the throw in, down to the left in front of the Tampa Bay bench. Gets it to Jennings, and he slips, and inadvertently it goes to Connor McGlynn. Hartford playing with it in their own end. Goes back to Rice. And he gathers and plays it to Niall Logue. Sadie up on the right calling for the ball. It's all the way 53 yards across the field. There's a race on the left sideline. Taken by Lewis. Drops back to Torres. One touch back to Lewis. Maybe time for one more offensive thrust. Played to Kembo Cabato. Back to Lewis. One touch to Torres. Gives to Lewis. Triple teamed. Dribbles in and out of trouble. Still has the ball in his possession. Gives to an overlapping Lapper. Sends it towards the 18. Headed out of there. J.J. Williams back to help out.
I think this is because of the injury to J.J. Williams that he's allowing a little bit extra time on top. Remember, it is a minimum of 4 minutes added time.
Sadie fakes from the right, cuts to the middle to Amo, looking for the one touch. But Tampa Bay puts up a yellow wall, and that'll do it for the first half. We have reached halftime. 2 goals, both scored by Hartford. What's the problem? They put them in their own goals.
You're a rascal.
2-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. Our halftime activities, including a conversation championship on ESPN+.
His heart was too small to survive, so we built Ellis a new aorta. When an injury sidelined ski season, we taught Luna's cartilage to grow on its own. When IBD slowed Finn down, we put the brakes on his flare-up. When things seem impossible, Connecticut Children's more than 1,000 experts think bigger, beyond imagination. Connecticut Children's, Connecticut's only health system just for kids.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Halftime, Trinity Health Stadium, and if it wasn't for bad luck in that first half, Hartford would have no luck at all.
Own goal, Joe Rice. Buy a ticket for the raffle. Sometimes you're fortunate. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about it. If that didn't sum up Hartford's season, then the second goal certainly did. Look, it's a really, really good strike. He's caught it well on Joe Rice. It's like, can anything else go wrong for me this season?
Then we thought Hartford had tied the game.
Yeah, that deflection there has to be a deliberate act. It was not a deliberate act, so it does not reset the phase. Therefore, Prince Sadie was offside from the original through ball. Correct decision by the officials. Freddie Kleeman with the touch, not a deliberate act.
And speaking of own goals,
less than 60 seconds after Hartford thought they were back on level terms, Joe Rice after conceding an own goal. Could it get worse for Hartford? Of course it could. They'll find a way. They'll find a way. Beverly Makingila diverting into his own net. So those of you who've maybe got a little bit of money on a first goal scorer, I don't know how it works in this country, but in the UK, they don't pay out on own goals. So you're still got a chance.
First half stats, possession owned by Tampa Bay. Hartford with more shots and more shots on target.
You know what, Joe? Hartford have played worse this season in some games in the first half and not been behind. I think Omid Namazi can be in there right now accentuating the positives, because middle to front, they have posed problems for this makeshift Tampa Bay back four.
When we come back, we'll hear from the new CEO of Hartford Athletic, Nick Sakevich. That's coming up. Halftime in Hartford, 2-0. Tampa Bay on top of Athletic.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
LDI Connect is a proud partner of Hartford Athletic with over 20 years of experience. LDI Connect is a leading independent provider of office technology solutions. Visit myldi.com for more information. Connecticut Children's a proud partner of Hartford Athletic. September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. To learn more about how Connecticut Children's supports children and families facing pediatric cancer, go to ConnecticutChildren's.org. 2-0 as we look at the food truck and we check storylines in the USL with a shot of the beautiful Connecticut State Capitol.
The final three playoff spots this week can be clinched by those three teams. So they're almost there. Sometimes that's the hardest to get over the finish line and get into the playoffs when you know what you need, but you haven't got it just yet. The USL welcoming its 2 millionth fan this season on Wednesday at Detroit.
And it was 8 days ago that the announcement came that Nick Sakevich was named the new CEO of Hartford Athletic. Earlier tonight, I had the chance to ask Nick what his first 8 days on the job were like.
Oh, it's been great, Joe. Just getting feet to the ground straight away. Got a lot of work to do, mostly on the pitch, but off the pitch it's been great, getting to know everybody and just getting my sea legs, so to speak.
What was it about this position that interested you and brought you to Hartford?
The ownership in the market. The ownership has got big ambitions, great vision, Bruce Mandel really understands football. He's a new age American soccer investor, and I've been in it a long time, and so his vision and his desire to be the best brought me here. And then the market, I went to school down the road in New Haven. I know the market. It's vibrant, lots of talent in this marketplace. Signed a lot of players over the years from this area. New England's a fantastic soccer market, and the fans are awesome here. Fans are just amazing.
What's the most important priority in building the brand up?
Getting it right on the pitch. We're now in the second, third generation of American soccer fans. I spent so many years in MLS building that league, and we have kids that came early in that when we launched that league that know the game. They really understand the game, and they want to see good football. And I think we got a lot of work to do in that area, and the fans will respond when they see some good football.
Today, the Global Football Group was introduced as the analytics part of the team, a group you founded. How important are analytics now in soccer?
Well, it's not just the analytics, but how you use them. You can get swamped with data. This whole Moneyball idea is great, but if you don't use it properly, if it doesn't qualify what the coaches are seeing and what the scouts are seeing, then it's useless. And GFG is going to be an important asset to help Hartford Athletic put a winning team and a team that the fans can be proud of, that ownership can be proud of, that competes week in, week out, year in, year out for a playoff spot, and then who knows, the championship.
Nick, welcome to Hartford.
Thanks, Joe.
Mark and I'll come back with the second half next. You're watching Hartford Athletic Soccer on MyTV9 and ESPN+.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
His heart was too small to survive, so we built Ellis a new aorta. When an injury sidelined ski season, we taught Luna's cartilage to grow on its own. When IBD slowed Finn down, we put the brakes on his flare-up. When things seem impossible, Connecticut Children's more than 1,000 experts think bigger, beyond imagination. Connecticut Children's, Connecticut's only health system just for kids.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development. So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
Team's back on the pitch, getting set for half number 2. It's a 2-0 lead in favor of Tampa Bay on the 2 own goals, one by Joe Rice, one by Beverly Macagila. Our pregame keys to the game for Tampa Bay, we said don't slip on the banana peel. They haven't.
No, they've been all right. They've been fine, and I think, I don't know what Omid Namazi said at halftime, but I don't see, certainly not a shouting escapade is required. I think it's more of the same middle to front, just try and be a bit more clinical in the final third. But defensively, they need a bit more protection. We're going to get a couple of changes. Danny Barrera is going to come on for Hartford, and Ariel Martinez is coming on for Tampa Bay.
Ariel Martinez and Danny Barrera exchanged a hug as they were standing by the fourth official. It was Martinez who came on late and scored the game-winning goal at Tampa on September 2nd in the 90th minute. One of the 19 goals Hartford has given up in the last 15 minutes of play. Lewis Hilton, who got hurt and has been hurt, will come out. Martinez will go in, while for Hartford, the night's over for Juan Pablo Torres, and Danny Barrera will come in for him.
I'm not sure how much Juan Pablo Torres has offered Hartford since signing, how much of a different aspect, because it just seems like he's a clone at times of Danny Barrera.
Yep.
So it's no surprise that one has replaced the other at half-time. I mean, it was a fresh face, it was a new body in at that time when it was required, but yeah, it's usually Danny Barrera or Juan Pablo Torres as the second half gets underway.
Hartford going right to left here in the second half. Glad you're with us, no matter what platform you are watching or listening to us on. Amo in the air, cleared out by Ekra. So with Martinez in the game, Ekra will move, and it looks like a back four being played for Tampa Bay. Here's Martinez, 37-year-old Cuban.
It's just a like-for-like switch. He'll play alongside Charlie Dennis in the middle of the park.
There's Ekra, now Martinez. Plays it back to Doherty and to Kleeman there, the center backs. Nicky Law's lineup tonight. Hartford has kept Williams and Jennings off the score sheet. That's the good news for Hartford. And Hartford did have its share of good chances in the first half. Just the continued problems putting the ball in the goal have been an issue, and in the second half, they have only 13 second half goals this year, and they've conceded 36. You look at those stats, that will explain to you why the record is 4-21-4.
They don't lie, do they, those stats?
Sometimes they do. In that case, they sure don't.
Well, a lot of the time, us commentators can manipulate statistics to help them suit our narrative. It's difficult with Hartford. There's a lot of things that you can take away, and you can take away all those late goals, and with hindsight, if they hadn't done this, that, or the other thing, and they'd be a competitive team this season, but yeah, the subjective removal of certain things does not work.
Danny Barrera taken off the ball at midfield by Charlie Dennis. Here's a long throw in to Jennings outside the box on the right. 1v1, cuts left, plays it across. LaCava looking for space, drops it back to Ekra outside the box on the right, and Tampa Bay will retreat and reset the attack. 2-0. Rowdies on top.
You can do that when you're 2-0 up, Joe. Go from 6 yards out all the way back into your own half and forward again.
Merrill capitalizes on the turnover. Antley overran the ball. Now Barrera in his own end. Closed down by LaCava. Plays it head on the right. Now Amo comes back. Off to Macangila. On the left, Lappert into Tampa Bay territory. Gives it up to Lewis. And a turnover. Cabato gives it away to Perez. Plays it back into the middle. Too strong. Macangila there to knock it away. Barrera. Lead ball, Amo. Racing along the near touchline with Doherty. Plays it back to an unmarked Cabato. In the middle. Barrera. Plays it back as Hartford looks to unlock this Tampa Bay defense, which has 8 clean sheets on the season.
Not this defense. They've done well so far.
Yeah. Missing Dan Harris, Aaron Guillen, Forrest Lasso, though Lasso is available to play. He's one of their 5 subs. And once again, Antley calmly plays it back to the sweeper keeper, Connor Sparrow. it's a well-drilled team. One thing that Nicky Law said was when he came in, they were playing well, so he wasn't going to try to do too much different than what Neil Collins had done. Collins left in June to go manage Barnsley in the English Football League One. Hartford trying to probe for an opening, but they try the far side, and it's taken away by the highlighter-clad Rowdies.
Some jerseys this season have had numbers that blend in rather too well. Tampa Bay do not fall into that category.
I was going to say, as a play-by-play man in your own right, and an outstanding one, you can certainly appreciate the...
Love these uniforms from Tampa Bay.
Barrera, Lewis in the middle, approaches the 18, plays it to Amo in the box, right into the chest of Sparrow, who would come off the line. Good anticipation by the keeper, Connor Sparrow.
That's why I think Hartford still got a chance in this game. Now, there's not much a goalkeeper can do there with the proximity and the pace that had, and he's just going to make himself as big as possible. And if it goes either side of him, Hartford are back into this game. So he does really, really well here. Connor Sparrow stays big. Nice turn. There you go. Doesn't turn away. Keeps his body shape. Keeps that kind of big, arms outstretched, body, chest puffed out. Good save from a good goalkeeper.
Connor Sparrow in his 7th year in the league. 38 clean sheets in his career. That's 6th all time. Perez races up the near touchline. And he slides, knocks the ball out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Joe Rice. Just the start of things. Second half, 2-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. Don't miss our next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium, the makeup with Rio Grande Valley next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information.
You know Hartford's going to win that game.
Because you're not going to be, because you're going to be listening and watching on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
It's great dedication on your part. Have you informed the wife of those plans yet?
You think I'm going myself, taking the child on a Disney cruise and not letting her go.
Here's Lewis.
Hopefully, Hartford only win when I'm not here.
On the loose, well, they've only won. Let's not get crazy. They've only won twice.
Well, I've only been away 3 games.
14.
And they drew the other one.
Right.
They're unbeaten.
Antley in his own box. Gets around Sadie. Stolen. Cabato takes it back. Plays in the middle. Barrera keeps possession. Changes field. Goes to Amo. Elvis distributes left to Lewis. 1v1 with Ekra outside the box. Plays at the 18. Amo spins. And he shoots it wide. He just double team. They're double teaming, triple teaming him.
Yeah, but that means there's space elsewhere. And
right, you got to find it.
Yeah, right up until the end there again, it was decent play. I've been impressed by Andre Lewis today, and I like him in this more advanced role. At times with Hartford in possession, it kind of seems like it's a front three, which I totally get from Omid Namazi, because it's a Hartford back line that isn't their first choice and does concede goals, so they are putting pressure on them. That's a good ball.
Nice ball played up ahead on the right. And taken down is Perez.
They do take their time to make a decision. Yes, they are in communication.
So the foul called on Robin Lapper about 5 yards inside the touchline is Joshua Perez talking it over.
Just because you win the ball doesn't mean it's not a foul. But what was won first? It was a belated decision, leads to this Tampa Bay free kick.
Charlie Dennis from about 5 yards inside the touchline, puts it on goal, headed down, cleared out. Nice job by Macangilla to get it out of danger. And again, Martinez will play it all the way back to Sparrow, who's about 30 yards outside of his goal. Now LaCava, he's been active. New Milford native, taken away. Nice play by Hartford. Here's Niall Logue. Played for Barrera. Deflected. Lewis gets it for Hartford. Up the left channel. 2-0 in favor of Tampa Bay in the 55th minute. Macangila changes fields across to the right side. Here's Sadie, who's gone wider. Cuts left. Changes direction. And airmails one in the direction of Bloomfield. Since 2018, the fix has been Hartford County's leading wellness spa. Whether you need a quick B12 shot to increase energy or a vitamin infusion to rehydrate, this is the place to reset your mind and body. Take time, treat yourself, and invest in your health. Hartford has had the better of possession here, but they had the one good shot by Amo. Now Lewis on the left against Ekra. He's got Lappert behind him, gives it to Robin. Plays it back, Macangila. In the middle it goes. McGlynn, one touch to Logue. Once again, Hartford being patient, trying to probe for holes. Everybody back for Tampa Bay. They have cinched in to help this injury-plagued black line. Lappert just carelessly gives it away. You can't possess the ball for 45 seconds and then have a giveaway like that.
Hartford have done well doing that this season, though, haven't they?
Yes, far too often.
And that's one of the reasons why Tampa Bay is giving Hartford this possession, because they know that there's likely to be a mistake at the end and a giveaway of possession like that.
Amo tries to get it to Sadie. It's taken away.
That's a card.
That's going to be a card on the far side. Connor McGlynn, I believe, will get the card for Connor in his 4th year with the team. His 8th yellow, which would seem to indicate that he might miss his next match, although it didn't say 8. You know, the one thing I've found, you could look at 3 different places and get 3 different stats for guys.
Who do you believe? Who do you trust?
Well, I trust what I see on the Hartford website, the notes that Mark Leduc and the paternity leave John Panzani put out every week. Leduc does a terrific job. Second yellow on Hartford tonight, Omi Namazi had the other. That runs the total up to 88. Kyle Edwards.
Is that what we're at now?
Getting set, yeah. 88 yellow cards. Long ball played up ahead on the left. Looking for Jennings.
It's good from Luke Merrill, but again, it's Hartford there who are basically drawing, Tampa Bay are drawing Hartford towards them, then putting the ball over the top. It's clever play from Nicky Law's men. Going to see a second change as well for Hartford.
A couple more. Tristan Hodge and Kyle Edwards.
Yep.
Here's Perez in the middle of the pitch in the Hartford half. They're very deliberate, this Rowdies team.
Yeah, they're interesting when they have the ball, their formation, because when they don't have the ball, J.J. Williams drops deep. When they do have possession
Here's
of the
a
ball,
giveaway.
Carl
Cabato
Jennings pushes wide.
Gives it to Amo. Elvis with Barrera. Plays it across to Lewis. Settles. Chips back for Amo on the run. Keeper comes out, but the ball goes by him. Over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick. And we'll have subs for Hartford.
What do we reckon?
Here in the 58th minute.
Who's coming off?
I would think Sadie might be done.
Could they go 3 up top?
Hodge for Lappert. That's not a surprise.
This could end up being a back 4, depending on this next change.
And Macangila comes out.
Yeah, so they are going to go through. I think it's a 4-3-3.
So Kyle Edwards, who's been seeing more and more time, played 27 minutes against Detroit on Saturday, the most he had played since July 6th, when he played 37 minutes against San Diego. So Macangila and Lappert's nights have come to an end.
Okay, Tristan Hodge at left back, Niall Logue and Connor McGlynn in the centre, and Luke Merrill on the right, Andre Lewis, Kemba Kibato and Danny Barrera in the middle, Kyle Edwards, Elvis Amo, Prince Sadie up top, 4-3-3 Hartford.
And these are the 3 up top for Hartford, who have accounted for 57% of their scoring. Going down in midfield is Logue. He's called for the foul. As you get a look at it, yeah, Logue climbed the back, and he's lucky he didn't get hurt. Nice somersault as he went over J.J. Williams. So far, Jennings has been a non-factor, third leading scorer. Here's a ball played up ahead for Lewis. Heads it back to Amo. One touch back to Lewis. Andre, stop and go dribble, now stops. Gives to an open Amo in the left channel. Elvis dances with it. Drops it back to Tristan Hodge. Hodge plays it back to Cabato. He'll play it in the middle to McGlynn. Off to an open Logue on the right. Logue gives it back to McGlynn. Comes back left to Cabato. In the offensive third, it's Hodge. Plays for Barrera at the goal line. Serves it far post. Unable to get a header on it was Kyle Edwards. Cabato keeps possession. Here's a shot by Logue. Blocked. Logue goes down. He might have turned an ankle. Merrill will play it back to McGlynn. Logue is not getting up. Hodge with it. Now Logue painfully makes his way up. Barrera from the goal line, headed out. Barrera will play it on the near touchline before it goes out. Gives to Hodge. 2-0. Tampa Bay, play it in the middle for Andre Lewis. Off on the right, it goes to Prince Sadie. Prince, 7 goals on the year. Splits the defense, too far, over the goal line, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, now Logue's going to need treatment, and I'm not sure he'll be able to continue. And if that's the case, you do have options. You could bring on De Bruyne at left back, put Tristan Hodge in one to left centre back. You could bring on Edgardo Rito and put Luke Merrill over to the left-hand side and put Tristan Hodge again to replace Niall Logue. So there are options. I'll tell you why I like that double change that's just been made, because by going to a 4 and playing with 3 up top, Hartford were playing with 3 centre-backs, Niall Logue, Connor McGlynn and Robin Lapper. At times, they weren't marking anybody. As I was just explaining a couple of minutes ago before that last Hartford attack, Cal Jennings, with those 16 goals this season, when they've got the ball, a lot of the time he's coming out to the right-hand side. J.J. Williams is kind of as a false 9, so you've got 3 Hartford players that aren't really marking anybody. So you can take one of them easily and then push someone further forward and give their defence something to think about. So with Tristan Hodge now at left back, Kyle Edwards up front with Elvis Amo and Prince Sadie, and then the creation and the creativity of Danny Barrera and Andre Lewis in behind, then I think that's a decent move from Omid Namazi. The question mark here, though, is whether Niall Logue will be able to continue.
Looks like Dren Dobruna, the teenager from Waterbury, would be the replacement. Yeah. Flourish Catering, proud to be the official caterer of Hartford Athletic. Flourish Catering offers individually packaged and buffet-style catering for teams, meetings, and organizations. Eat like an athlete with Flourish Catering. Many people in the media eat like an athlete, like an NFL defensive lineman.
I was going to say, what kind of athletes? There are many different shapes and sizes.
Edgardo Rito also looks like he and De Bruyne are both going to come in at the same time.
Okay, so Tristan Hodge will move in because he's just come on, so he'll be the left centre back. There's no way now Logue's continuing now. It's a question of whether or not Luke Merrill is the other player, and it's a direct replacement. If it is Rito for Merrill, then it would be De Bruyne for Logue, with Tristan Hodge moving in field. If it's not 72 for 19, I'm intrigued as to what he's going to do.
And this will do it for subs. This will be the 5 subs. So once again, Matt Sheldon will not play. Rito will replace Luke Merrill.
Yeah, makes sense.
And De Bruyne
will replace Logue.
Will replace Niall Logue.
Yeah, so that's a simple one. That's keeping the changes to a minimum as far as formational change is concerned. It's a right back for a right back and a left back coming on for a centre back, with Tristan Hodge moving to left centre back. That was the obvious thing. Sometimes we wonder if we're watching the same game or if they're watching the same game as us, but it's nice to know we're all on the same wavelength today.
Logue settles down on the bench after being treated by the head athletic trainer Mike Diaz. Here's a race for the ball. Rito touching it instantly and getting it back to Rice. 2-0, 2 own goals. 16th and 27th minute. One off the back of Rice, one off the boot of Macangila. Ball played up ahead to Edwards. Cleared out of danger by Antley. Hartford gets it back to Bruna. Pinching up, but too far for Elvis Amos, so it'll be a throw-in for Tampa Bay. Shots on goal, 10-5 in favor of Hartford. They have the only 4 shots of the second half. Perez, one touch Jennings, back to Perez. Offside flag is up. Connor McGlynn did a nice job of trapping Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay, and we've said this countless times this year, Mark, Tampa Bay doesn't have to score. They've got the lead.
Yeah.
And they're playing very well with it. Here's Barrera, long ball for Amo. To the left of the box, dribbles it into the near corner. Marked over here by Doherty. Now Lewis tries to change fields. Rito chips it in for Barrera, but it's headed out of there. It'll be a throw-in on the far touch side by Rito. Hartford retains possession. We saw Hartford trail Pittsburgh by 3 goals, score 3 goals in the space of about 9 minutes to tie the match. Drabuna sends it in, parried over the goal. Nice play by the kid.
I think this might be a goal kick. Yep. The far side assistant, Jacob Little, is just informing the referee that it went out before it came back in and then was tipped over. So,
nonetheless, a nice effort by Judo Bruno.
Just maybe a slight surprise that we haven't seen him a little bit more this season. This could give us a perfect angle of the fact it goes.
Yep. Ooh, that's close.
It is close.
That's close on the replay.
It is close.
Westfield Bank, proud to support Hartford Athletic and all they do to make our communities better. Need more convenience from your bank? Well, at Westfield Bank, you can bank your way. Learn more at westfieldbank.com. Hartford controlling the play here, but they need 2 goals to equalize. And that's why Tampa Bay is not minding. Now DeBruna up on the left. That was the position that Lappert had held much of the first half. Now Lewis back to Hodge, distributes in the middle. McGlynn off on the right. Here's Sadie. Gives to Rito. Serves it, far post. Elevating off the line, Sparrow. Before Danny Barrera can get there.
I thought you were going to come up with some words of wisdom there, Joseph.
I was, and then I thought better of it. I decided the wisdom was not strong on the wisdom part. There's a foul at midfield as J.J. Williams goes down. Hartford has not been enchanted with the work of Alex Bieler, the head referee tonight.
I think he's been really good.
Oh, I would agree, and you read the rule. He nailed the offside call on the goal.
Yep.
There's no disputing it. Although Omid Namazi sprinted up the near sideline and got a yellow.
Well, when subjectivity comes into the laws of the game, that's when you can get grey areas. Objectivity, is it onside or offside? There's no argument about that.
Here's Jennings, knocked away from him.
That's a foul.
And it'll be direct from about 10 yards into the Tampa Bay offense. Would you say 10 yards? Because now every time I give a distance, after you criticized me before, I'm a little leery, Mark. You've kind of intimidated me.
I just don't want you measuring carpets
No,
if I'm your boss.
There's many things you don't have to worry about. One is me measuring carpets.
You'd be giving away a lot of product if you're 25 yards in the first half, which was actually 35 yards.
Yeah.
You'd bankrupt our carpet company.
It's all right.
Giving away too much.
I would bankrupt them if they hired me in the first place. Here's Martinez, who played here back in last year. 9 goals, 1 assist for Ariel. Ekra goes down. DeBruna call for the foul. 2 players down. Is DeBruna going to get a card or Cabato? Kembo. His third yellow of the year, coming in the 69th minute.
He's not even tackling the man with the ball. Can't have any complaints.
Danny Barrera talking to referee Beeler about it. Midline, proud to be the official chiropractor of Hartford Athletic. We welcome them to our telecast. Jody Ambrosio, Mark Donaldson, and our crew. Charlie Dennis might have been chatting amicably with Omid Namazi and Dan Gaspar on the near side. Initiates the direct, sends it back into his own end. 2 own goals. All the scoring in this one. One off Rice's back, one off the foot of Macangila, 16th and 27th minutes. Sebastian Dahlgaard getting set to give Cal Jennings the rest of the night off. Dahlgaard, guy they're trying to get back in shape after sitting out 9 games with an injury. Nicky Law telling me today he could get 10 or 15 minutes out of him. Tampa Bay in the Hartford half, taking their time. Here's J.J. Williams spinning, marked by Lewis, sends it cross field, trapped by Joshua Perez, plays it in the middle to Dennis, back to Perez, back to Charlie Dennis, and they drop it back to Jordan Doherty.
You don't take risks, do they? Because
no.
You don't need to.
Nope.
Just pass it nicely like this.
Fundamentally sound is how I would describe them.
Good move. That's very good.
Williams tried to one-touch it through to Jennings. It did not work. And Hartford regains possession.
Compact.
Edwards dummies the ball. Here's Edwards on the run. Plays it ahead. Amo's open. Taking off the ball. It's free, and Barrera fires it over the goal.
He just couldn't get himself set. He should have got himself set because he had time to get himself set. That was all about, for me, this first touch by Elvis Amo. It was also about the pass. You're passing to the man. Pass to the space in front of the man for the man to run into. Now, it didn't work for Elvis Amo. See, the ball just behind there, so he does well to cut back. Danny gets it into space and then fluffs these lines. Another chance goes a begging for Hartford, and Dahlgaard comes on for Jennings.
Sebastian Dahlgaard played in Hartford in the initial year of 2019. 5 goals and 2 assists. So Jennings does not add on to his goal total of 16. He had scored 8 goals in the last 7 games. He does them in bunches, 4 braces and a hat trick for the former Kentucky Wildcat. Now Martinez spins at midfield and distributes on the left. Ekra will play it into Hartford territory and then calmly give it back. Give away, Rito. Rito never goes less than 100 miles an hour.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Which is a good thing, and at times it's a bad thing.
Well,
at times you get the feeling he rushes a little bit.
He needs to go faster than 100 miles an hour sometimes to get back after the ball's been given away. That's the problem.
Here's Connor McGlynn. Plays it up ahead on the right to the aforementioned Edgardo Rito. Edwards plays it back. Lewis traps, moves left. Tries to load up the foot in the box. Plays it to Dobruna. Chips far post for Edwards. Edwards heads it, and Sparrow comes out and covers up. Tampa Bay without a shot.
I was just about to say that.
Half.
Joe Rice is one of the...
He's the Maytag repairman.
Underused players in this game.
Here's Martinez. Tampa Bay into the Hartford third. Played back to Ekra, and he will calmly play it back to Antley. There is no rush in the Rowdies.
Maytag repairman. Explain, please.
There used to be a TV commercial, Sonny, in the old days where the Maytag repairman was the loneliest man in the world because Maytag was so good, nobody ever called him.
50s or 60s?
Oh, come on, please. 40s. No, 60s.
Wow.
Hartford ball at midfield.
Every day's a school day.
You know what? You've learned a lot of things this year that will be of no use to you
exactly.
in general life.
It's like Latin at school. It'll help with your other subjects. No, it won't.
No, it didn't. No.
Did it for a year. Waste of time.
I took 2 years of Latin and 2 years of French.
French I did.
And then I was lucky to dump Latin. Here's how I could tell my life was headed in the wrong direction. When I was a 4th grader, I became an altar boy, and the Mass was still in Latin at that time. And as soon as I had passed my test, they switched the Mass to English. And I knew that the Almighty had a bigger plan for me.
75 minutes gone, and this is the discussion.
This is where we're at. Well, I mean,
it's out for a throw. You're not missing anything. Wow.
2-0 Hartford, trailing on 2 own goals. McGlynn into his own box to Hodge. Tristan dribbles it in front of Williams, gives left to Drew Dobruna. Now Lewis plays it back. Played back to Dobruna. For Dren, his 4th appearance of the year. He played at Tampa Bay, the COVID game. He played the last 20 minutes. Giveaway by Hartford, taken back. Here's Sadie on the run. Prince has it knocked off his foot by Ekra. Amo with a volley towards the pizza place.
Okay, I've been pretty positive about Hartford tonight, and I think deservedly so, because when they've been coming forward, there's been a lot to like. However, there's always a but. Prince Sadie. Brian Clough once got someone into his office. He said, "Son, have you ever seen a human being outrun a football when a football is passed forward at pace?" "No, son, no, I've not." "Okay, well, pass the ball. Don't try and outrun the ball. That ball should have been played quicker." Involving Prince Sadie.
And that's been a constant thing this year.
It has. Because you know what? Hartford have played some good stuff in games when they've moved the ball quicker.
Lewis spinning in midfield.
Am I right in saying they've only named the same lineup back to back once?
Yes, once I believe.
That's not going to get you anything.
Tribuna to Cabato. Hodge. McGlynn in the center circle. Open on the right. Chipped in. Intended for Edwards, but
offside.
Cleared out, and Hartford goes offside. It gives me a chance to tell you that our match is presented by Avello Airlines. Avello flies to the country's most beautiful destinations with affordable rates. From national parks to hidden gems to bustling metropolitan hubs, they've got your next vacation covered. To learn more about Avello's 40-plus destinations, visit AvelloAir.com.
You can fly from New Haven with them as well.
Go to Florida.
You can, direct.
Many friends who have made that trek. To Bruna on the back of Perez. Forces the turnover at midfield. Here's Sadie. Pritt sitting on 7 goals. It's a career high, but it's just been inconsistent at times. Now, Tampa Bay, one of their few forays into the Hartford end, and they slow it down and play it back.
Where did Jake LaCava pick that ball up? He picked it up on Tampa Bay's left-hand side, Hartford's right-hand side. Why was there no one there? Because Edgardo Rito had gone forward to try and help with the attack, and Prince Sadie, again, I mean, he's had not a bad game so far. He's not been the best Hartford player. But again, it's the indecision or it's the wrong decision-making from Hartford players at times. What's the point in your right back going all the way forward if you're just giving the ball away because you're trying to force it through? It's better quality and decision-making in possession. And that's Prince Sadie the last twice he's had the ball.
Here's Charlie Dennis off the Hodge foul to begin the direct kick from about halfway between the goal line and the center line, closer to the center line. Chips it in, headed over the goal.
That was nearly another own goal.
That was almost the third own goal.
That was Kyle Edwards.
Unbelievable.
Now, I don't think I've ever seen or been or commentated on a game with 3 own goals, but look how close Kyle Edwards comes. This is nearly 3 Hartford goal scorers here. What?
Oh, first quarter of the night. for Tampa Bay in the 79th minute. As the song once said, Mama said there'd be days like this. There's been a lot of them for Hartford this year. Dennis from the right of Joe Rice. 3 rowdy players in the box. Send it back, the 18, second ball. Headed by Cabato, then Amo. Traps, Edwards. Space for Kyle to run. Plays it up ahead for a streaking Sadie. Keeper was out, and coming across to clear it out was Connor Antley. Every time Hartford gets close, it seems like the number of bright yellow shirts multiplies. Tampa Bay, even without some of their better defenders, still has plenty of talent on that back line, and they play their positions extremely well.
Yeah, and a lot of them aren't even playing in the right position.
Deep throw in for Hartford. It'll be Dren Dobruna. Throws it back to McGlynn. In the middle, Andre Lewis tries to play it ahead, right to the keeper on one bounce. The Performance Lab is an all-inclusive model that brings the latest technologies for pain relief, wellness, and mobility together under one roof. With one-on-one treatments and a customized approach to fit your needs, the Performance Lab will get you moving and feeling your best. Here's Joshua Perez in his offensive third. Has nothing, drops it back along the touchline to Sebastian Dalgard. Played in the middle. Martinez, one touch to Dennis, back to Martinez. He kicks it square on the left. Gets it back. Give and go. Played in the middle. Here's Perez, just outside the 18, cuts left and fires it high over the goal.
That noise has been constant. That area is right behind the big banner that says the Bonanza, the fan club, the Hartford HFD on social media. Show up every single game, tailgate, pre-game, make noise during every game, and have been wonderful for this football club. So
Loyal
it's
as
only
the
fair
day is
we
long.
mention. Exactly.
San Diego's nickname may be the Loyal.
Not for long.
Hartford's, right, exactly. For another 2 months, maybe 1 month. 2-0. If you're just joining us, Hartford scored twice. Unfortunately, it was 2 own goals. 4-on-4. Williams touches into the box. Rice slides out to get it before Connor Antley could get a boot on it. Holiday Inn Express Newington is conveniently located in the heart of the dining and shopping district of Newington on the Berlin Turnpike, Route 5 and 15. Whether you need one night or an extended stay, the hotel will make your stay convenient and cost effective. Hartford trying to cut this margin of 1, but so far unsuccessful. Rito from the goal line sends it in the box. Dren Dobruna plays it back to Amo. He knocks it off a Tampa player right to Andre Lewis. Spins one-on-one with Dennis. Gives it off to Dobruna. Dren goes right and plays it back to an open Hodge.
This is sometimes, Joe, when you can learn a lot about players and their application in the last 10 minutes of a game that they've got nothing out of.
Hartford. Now Lewis over on the left where Dobruna had been. Into the box. Looking for Barrera. Clear it out. Lewis steals to Dobruna. He's sent sprawling by Perez. Foul is called.
I'd like to see the young man feature regularly between now and the end of the season.
There's no reason not to.
100%.
As Perez takes him down. Hartford changes fields to the far side. Sadie, Torito, into the box. Cleared away.
Good ball.
Freddie Kleeman there to knock it away on the Rito set up for Edwards. Hartford gets it back on the throw-in. Sadie back to a retreating McGlynn.
It was a ball that made the defenders do their job.
Lewis almost turns it over with his keeper way out of the goal. Now Andre settles. Gives to Dobruna. Drop back to Lewis. Midfield is Hodge. Did not start tonight. Now a long ball played. Sparrow is out. Leaps and makes the catch. Right in front of Rito. Shots are 13-6 in favor of Hartford.
Yeah, and on target?
Well, that's another story. That's 3-1.
Yeah, Tampa Bay has 1 shot on target and has 2 goals.
The math doesn't work.
Takes some doing, doesn't it?
You're the expert. You tell me how that happens.
Well, Hartford have helped.
Yes, it's an understatement. Tonight's Business Alliance partner of the match, we thank Sunveo.
You sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. Change for Tampa Bay. 35-year-old Lucky Mkasana. To come on.
Yeah, Sunveo. I knew.
You just got your glasses.
I had to put the cheaters on. So it will be Lucky Mkasana from Zimbabwe in for Joshua Perez. Here's Amo at the 18, taking off his foot. Shot on goal, goes wide.
So 77 for 98 sounds like a defensive lineman.
Yeah. Neither of these people look like defensive linemen.
No, being replaced by some other offensive or defensive stud in the NFL or just along the road at UConn. But that's not a good. It's a sore subject right now, UConn football, isn't it?
I'm sorry? Did you say something?
As someone who was there against Duke at the weekend. Ugh.
Hartford Athletic, proud to team up with Stop and Shop in all of our community efforts as we work together year-round in the fight against food insecurity. Third ball in the air, taken down by LaCava. Loses it to Kimbato. Here's Drendo Bruno, gives on the left sideline. Barrera with a long pass. Drendo Bruno tried to steal the throw in. Nicholas Seymour said no, go the other way.
You know what I'd like for next season? I'd like Hartford to live up to their hashtag that the official social media accounts use quite a lot, Fortress Hartford. They've got to take care of business at home next season because this has been a place that opposition teams cannot wait to come to.
They'll fall to 2-11-2 at home. Here's Rito in the box from the left, cleared out of danger, and a loss tonight will be Hartford's 8th in a row, equaling the franchise's longest losing streak. That was the first 8 games of the inaugural season, 2019, when they had to play everything on the road.
I was going to say, most of them are away from home, if
yeah,
not all of them.
Because they were rebuilding
this place.
What was at the time Dillon Stadium.
Played Rentschler Field. I remember going to games there before this place was ready.
Hartford will get a goal kick. Their second of the night. Danny Barrera will take it. Edgardo Rito having a word with Alex Beeler, the referee. See if Barrera can work some corner kick magic. Set pieces have not been good to the Hartford offense this year. That's been an understatement. Chipped in the middle. Nobody there for Hartford. McGlynn races for it. And then he takes Martinez down. Martinez wildly gesturing because the throw-in went to Hartford.
I think I would build my defense around Connor McGlynn next season.
He's been consistent and his work ethic is great. Edwards can't control, gives outside right, Rito. From the 18 extended. Dobruna from the goal line. Boy, Drenda Bruna, I'm with you. I'd play him a lot over the last 2 weeks. There's no reason not to.
I'm surprised he's not played more. Look, he's just a kid. He's still got school and everything, a young lad from Waterbury, but he's a bright spark.
Came in tonight in the 64th minute. Played 45 minutes in this first appearance. That was the Memphis game.
I remember that game. That was, what, 0-0?
That was 2-0 Memphis.
What was the 0-0 game? Lou City. That was the 0 game. The Memphis game he played all right.
I wasn't here. It was you and Tuitt.
So it was. It was a tactical switch at half-time was the reason he came off, but he did fine in that first half.
And if this, as Omid Namazi has said, we certainly believe him, is to be about finding out about people for next year, start with Drendo Bruna. I mean, to make a baseball analogy, it's like this month for the Yankees playing all the kids because they got nothing to play for and they want to see what they can do. Now, you can be seduced by September, people playing well in September, but still, I don't see any reason why you should. Brigno Vineyard stoppage time, 5 minutes of stoppage time. Hartford battling Barrera, sends it in. Ekra heads it. Nice trap by De Bruyne. Gives to a dancing Barrera. Sends it on the right. Amo was waiting for it. He got buried. Tampa on a counter. Here's Martinez. Plays it to LaCava. LaCava cuts to the left. Gets stopped by Lewis. Good job by Lewis to take it away. But even then, LaCava didn't push it. He understands he's got a 2-0 lead. Last thing he wants to do, boy, that was quite a kick by Jordan Doherty there. Basically took a left turn at the center line and went over the East Stand's touchline.
Do you know who started that Tampa Bay attack, by the way? J.J. Williams. The effort and the work rate that man has put into this game has been absolutely outstanding.
Hodge tries to send it. Boy, every ball Hartford sends to the 18, there are 3, 4, or 5 Tampa Bay defenders to knock it away. Now Barrera in the offensive third. Danny tries to dribble around dangers, gets taken off the ball. Foul is called on Charlie Dennis. It'll be a direct. Quickly to De Bruyne. Chips it towards the goal. Headed out of there. Cleared out of danger.
Wide.
M. Kosana helped to clear. Now taken back. Rito. Stutter steps. Antley knocks it away and lets it go over the goal line for a goal kick, Tampa Bay.
Not their worst performance of the season by any stretch of the imagination, Hartford. They'll have played worse and not lost games this season. But it's Hartford Athletic 0, and that's the problem. And we're long past what we're going to do for the rest of the season. It's about the future now, and I'm just intrigued as to who they decide should stay and who they will move on from. We'll not know until the end of the campaign.
Well, and now you have a new man in charge, Nick Sikevich, who will work with Technical Director Ray Reed to try to bring the right players in. That's a long goal kick by Sparrow. McGlynn got a head on it. Lewis, second ball to Cabato. Kembo in the offensive half. Gets it off. Here's Sadie in the middle to an open Lewis. One touch from Barrera. Lewis gets it back.
Touches, too many.
And it's stolen, taken away by LaCava. Plays it up ahead. Rice, way out of the goal to play. It's funny you said that, Mark, because I was thinking the same thing, is that they get the ball in the middle, and they always try to make the perfect pass to set up the perfect shot. Sometimes you got to get a ball on goal, and, maybe it goes off a defender and goes in. Now Edwards, who's been relegated to a substitute role after getting hurt, played in, backheeled out of there. Jan Ekra will dribble it upfield for Tampa Bay, holding on to that 2-0 advantage. Ekra double teamed on the far side.
That's one of these that neither referee nor assistant really knows what's happened there. So
I'll just give it to Tampa Bay. And they will take their time before throwing it in. Here in the 93rd minute.
I think Tampa Bay's season will be determined as to how many of their regular players they have available in the playoffs, because they're a threat to any team.
And do you think they're as good as Pittsburgh?
It's very hard to tell because they're not playing with a normal defense. They've played with a 3 at the back. They're playing with a 4 tonight. And I've been impressed by them tonight, their organization without the ball.
Here's Sadie on the run. Prince tackled off the ball by Ekra, just not strong enough on the ball. And Tampa starts the counter. It's like a slow break for Tampa. quickly developing into a 6-on-4. Played over on the left. Here's Antley. Headed out of the box by Hodge. Barrera plays it upfield to Amo. As we approach the end of stoppage time, and another disappointing result for Hartford. Sadie plays it ahead to Amo. Shot is blocked by Sparrow. Lewis, rebound blocked by Dennis. Rito chips into the box, headed up in the air. Edwards looking for a handball. It was not called. And slowly up the near sideline is Ariel Martinez. Encounters De Bruyne, who's half his age. No, really, he is. And it's played upfield. Long ball to LaCava, the New Milford native. 1v1 with Cabato, brings it into the box. Puts it on goal, right into the midsection of Joe Rice.
Second shot on target.
Tonight, not just in the half, tonight. Here's Rito on the counter. Tries to beat a double team. That's not happening. Taken away by Connor Antley, and we're just waiting for the referee's whistle to signal the end.
Yeah, Rito's hurt.
Yeah, Rito laying down in the offensive end. That is the match, and the question for Hartford is the condition of Edgardo Rito. But for Hartford, a disappointing night at home again. 2 own goals, and Tampa Bay shuts out Hartford 2-0. Mark and I will come back and wrap it up next here on ESPN+. Well, Mark, the story of this one told in a 10-minute space in the first half. An own goal, a goal disallowed by an offside, and then another own goal.
Yeah, there's only so far you can get with excuses. They don't put points on the board, they don't put the ball in the back of the net, and that's the contentious moment. But by the letter of the law, because it was not a deliberate act, a deliberate play by the defender, the goal was chalked off by Prince Sadie, and then up the other end of the park less than 60 seconds later, really good save by Joe Rice and put into the back of the net.
That'll do it. Tampa Bay 2, Hartford no score. For Mark Donaldson and our crew, I'm Jody Ambrosio. Thanks for watching.